What's up, guys? We're back with another video. It's been a minute, and it's been a busy couple of weeks. Um, I'm heading up to work for the day. It is Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Um, and tomorrow and Sunday, this weekend, I've got the Pokemon Outlet coming up in Lee, Mass. Once again. So if you don't have anything going on, or even if you do, try to make it by and come see me and come see the other vendors. Should be a good show. I've got my best slab inventory I've ever had right now, and singles in the cases, in the binders are stacked up. Got a bunch of ETBs still, and I've got a cool variety of sort of out of print packs, vintage packs, XY packs. Got some Evo Skies blisters, bunch of cool stuff. So come see me this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, 17th and 18th of January. Hope to see you guys there. So last weekend we did a Foxwoods show hosted by Hittin Card Shows. That show was fantastic. Saturday was a blur. It was busy. The pretty much first hour was slow, and the rest of the day was absolutely jam-packed. Never had a moment to chill out or anything. It was great. I don't know if I've had a show that busy since we moved back from Florida. Sunday was still pretty busy too, actually. It was not a whole lot slower on Sunday. So solid weekend. Got some really cool pickups, picked up a lot of slabs. Sadly, traded away my Shining Gyarados Double Hollow PSA 6. I was really debating PCing that slab, and somebody met my sort of what I needed to get for it, and we did a big trade. I got some cool vintage singles, some cool slabs, and yeah, you know, sometimes you just gotta let things go. You can't keep everything you like, you know. So I almost also ended up working out a trade for my red-green gift set Articuno that I have in PSA 10. That one's really hard to comp because recent sales until I want to say it was like November were all sort of like the 12 to 1300 range, and then there's one sale at like 2600, and that's the last sale, and lowest listing since that sale has been above 2600. So it's kind of a risky card to evaluate at that last sale. So didn't end up being able to work out a deal with any of the vendors. I was trying to shop it around and see if I could get the right number on it, and I got close, but not quite. But regardless, that show was great. I moved a ton of sealed product at this Foxwoods show. The last Foxwoods show, which was only one day, I barely moved any sealed product. Like almost zero sealed product moved at that last one. This one was much different. I sold a ton of ETBs. Luckily, somebody on Sunday came by and sold me some ETBs, so I got to restock a little bit at the end of the show, which was good. But yeah, it was a great show. Thanks to Hard Hittin for putting on that show. The 2-day format worked out amazing. That was the first time they've done 2 days at that show, and it was great. And I definitely plan on doing the next one. So keep an eye out for those dates. They're saying every 3 months, I believe. So next one should be in April, based on that. And then next month, I've got a couple shows lined up right now. I'll be at the Pokemon Outlet at the end of the month. I think that is February 28th and March 1st, actually. And then for the first time, I'm going to be doing Western Mass card shows. I believe that one is in Chicopee, and I believe it is on February 8th. So I'm really excited to do that show. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm really looking forward to it, and it's pretty close by to me as far as shows go, so I'd like to continue to do that show. And then I guess a little sneak peek into a later on show that's going to be going on in March. I will be doing Gone Broke Con in Springfield, which is a 2-day show. I'm pretty sure it's the 14th and 15th. I walked at that show last year. Before I moved back from Florida, I was up here doing work on my house, thinking that I was going to sell my house. And so I went down and checked that show out. It was really busy. So I'm hoping this year is great too. I guess we will see, but it's a big venue. There's a lot of vendors, and yeah, so looking forward to that one as well. Anyway, guys, so truthfully, I haven't done a video in quite a bit because there's kind of been like a lull in interesting news going on, interesting things going on in the hobby, in the markets. You know, we kind of had the downturn at the end of last year. We're a couple of weeks into the new year. Everybody is waiting for Ascended Heroes to drop, but for the first month of Ascended Heroes, we're only getting blister packs, and then ETBs drop next month, and then booster bundles don't drop till April. So the release schedule is really strange. I guess there has been some of these like restocks hitting shelves, especially at the big box stores. So maybe that's what the printers have been occupied doing, and that's why this release schedule is so wonky. But it's kind of created this weird sort of limbo that we've been in for a minute. And so there just truthfully hasn't been like a ton to talk about. And there's been, I also like took some time off from shows sort of at the end of December, and then all the way to the Foxwoods show. So, you know, no shows, lacking in news, just wasn't much to talk about. However, I don't know if you guys have noticed, maybe the past 2 weeks, since the new year, really, feels to me like the markets are kind of, at worst, treading water. No more downturn, no more downswings. And I would say it feels like we're recovering. And it doesn't feel like, as they say in stocks, like a dead cat bounce. It feels to me like there's still room left for a lot of this growth in price levels. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my feeling, is that we may still have some room to grow in the market. It won't be everything, I don't think. You know, I think some stuff has really kind of like found where its highs are going to be for years, probably. Things that kind of fall into that category, in my opinion, are maybe like some of the Sword and Shield alt arts, perhaps even some of the Scarlet and Violet special illustration rares. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised to see cards like sort of like Bubble Mew, 151 Zard, Greninja, what else? I don't know. You know, that sort of stuff, though. The Pikachu from Surging. Those type of cards to me, like the Magikarp is another good example. I feel like those highs that those cards have, they may start to trend up towards them again. But I would be surprised if we see another huge spike in prices in that area. And I feel the same sort of way. I might not feel as strongly about that with like Sword and Shield Alt Arts. Like Sword and Shield Alt Arts could have some room still to go. I don't think a ton, though. I don't think we're going to have doubling in prices or anything like that. But what my focus is on, as far as what I still think has a lot of room to grow in the market, especially over the next year, is vintage and mid-era. I feel like every time I am pricing vintage and mid-era cards, I am surprised by how cheap some of the cards are, how cheap some of the slabs are even. And so, in my opinion, and this is, of course, super speculative, probably not exactly a hot take, because I would imagine, I mean, I haven't been consuming a lot of vendor or investment content in the hobby lately, but I would be surprised if I'm the only one who has this take. But I think those are the areas that have still a lot of room to grow, because a lot of those cards, especially like clean copies of them, but also some that are not clean copies, like even some beat up copies, they are more rare than anything that's been put out in the past 15 years. So to me, it seems more like those cards have more room left to grow. Yeah, I mean, even that Articuno that I was talking about that I have, the red-green gift set Articuno, for instance, that's a PSA 10 holo, Japanese exclusive holo, and pop in a 10 is $182. $2,600 is, I believe, I don't keep tabs on a lot of these things, but I believe that's cheaper than either of the Sunbreon or Moonbreons in a PSA 10, which have way higher pops, and in my opinion are just way less cool and rare. So that's the segment of the market that I'm going to be watching very closely this year. That's where my focus will be for buying. It's also just like vintage and mid-era is what I enjoy the most in the hobby. I love a ton of the new stuff that comes out. The art rares, the illustration rares, the special illustrations, all of that stuff. The, Sword and Shield, alts, all of it. I really do enjoy that stuff too, but it doesn't have the same nostalgia factor. It doesn't have the same art style. And so for me personally, vintage and mid-era is just like where it's at. It's what I like to collect. And I think, especially with like some of the other things going on, like One Piece is like super ascendant right now. In between, from the last Foxwoods show, which was in October, to this Foxwoods show, I would say the number of vendors that are selling One Piece has 10x'd. So like One Piece is super popular and ascendant right now, and I think a lot of sort of like the scalpers and sort of the people that were just in it for quick flips, in the past couple months, I think a lot of those people have kind of gotten shaken out of the mix here. And so the more you have long-term collectors and investors and hobbyists, the more interest I think you're going to have in the older sets of cards, the WotC stuff specifically. And so with all that being said, that's kind of my prediction for the year. We'll see how that goes. Of course, we have 30th anniversary coming this year, which we should be getting spoilers pretty soon for that. We're starting to get spoilers right now for the new Mega Zygarde set. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry. So far, I mean, there's not like much that's been spoiled. The ETBs, people were not super psyched on the ETB art, which to me is like, okay, I don't know. In my opinion, they look cool. They look kind of like some of the older Sun and Moon set ETBs. I think they look cool. So I think it's just kind of like Mega Zygarde kind of looks funny. So people are kind of, and then apparently there's going to be like the new Mega Starmie is going to be in that set. So I don't know, maybe it'll be like a meme set. Maybe it'll be a little Shrouded Fable-esque. But I don't really think it's going to matter that much. And I guess we'll see, though. You never know. It could be a total dud. And if that's the case, that'll be the first one where people just aren't hyped on it since, I mean, Journey kind of, but people were hyped on Journey before release. So I don't think that really counts. But like early Scarlet and Violet era, people were not hyped on those sets. So I guess it would be the first miss since then. I did just see this morning there's an illustration rare Clefairy that got spoiled. That art is dope. That's a cool illustration rare. So I don't know, we'll see over the next couple weeks what the set looks like. We'll see how jacked up the Ascended Heroes release ends up being, because that could make things kind of weird in the market. I guess we'll see. And I don't know, we'll just kind of see how the year goes. 30th anniversary, I think, is the big question mark in everybody's mind. But anyway, guys, if you see me at shows and you got vintage or mid-era hollows, reverse hollows, any of that stuff, come see me. I'll buy them. Anyway, if you guys watched the whole video, I appreciate it. I am about to get to work for the day. Hopefully see some of you guys out at the Pokemon Outlet this weekend, or if not this weekend, and the next month. Maybe I'll see some of you guys at Western Mass Card Shows on the 8th next month. And yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think 2026 has in store in the Pokemon market? If you're a vendor, if you're a collector, whatever. What's your hot take? Any of that stuff. Let me know in the comments. Follow me on Instagram at PokeSky with 2 Ys. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Later.